Oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. What's going on, y'all? It's Vinny Cuz and Sir Steven. We are the Rideshare Garage tonight. Jeff will be on his way. He's a little sleepyhead tonight. Eddie's probably out making some money. I'm sure he'll show up. Red won't be able to be with us tonight. She's got some pressing matters she's got to deal with, which, we wish her well. Hope everything will be all right over there. Uh, Omar is out trying to make a dollar at the hockey game. I don't know. That hasn't been the best place to get a ride. Our Florida Panthers are in the Eastern Conference Finals, going for a 4-0 sweep of the Carolina Hurricanes. I had a couple of those guys yesterday too. A couple of the players, really nice guys, really really nice guys, bro. And so Kiara, I'm sure will be along. She's probably out finishing up her Uber Eats. And with that, we are going to get this show started tonight. So welcome. Hope everybody's in really, really good health tonight. We're going to start the show with something that's going on with Steven here. Steven,
yes, sir.
Why are you not on the platform, brother? What's going on, man?
So for whatever reason, both Uber and Lyft, I've been having issues with them saying that my background check is, one is pending and one just hasn't been refreshed. So with Uber, they're saying that my background check is complete, but for whatever reason, it hasn't been associated with my account, and they needed to escalate it to their internal team. With Lyft, yesterday I was online, and at some point I just got cut off. I tried to get back on, and it said background check needed to be done, and I put my information in. It had already said, so I went to Checker, which both Uber and Lyft use in order to run your background checks, and it said the Lyft was still pending. So I've been waiting now. I guess for Lyft, I've been waiting for a day, and I've been waiting since Sunday for Uber for them to get reactivated. But interestingly enough, with Uber, for some reason, I still have access to Connect, and I still have access to deliveries. So make that make sense.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Your background check is good for. Hold on, I gotta see when this is. 5:05 tomorrow a.m. Yeah, I'll take that ride. Boom, reserve it.
Yeah.
All right, this ain't gonna be no long live stream tonight. Goddammit, I'm stacking these rides up as best I can.
Nice.
Oh yeah, bro. Listen, I got a plan. My pivot, at least last week and this week, is working. That's all I can say. I'll tell y'all my pivot. Anyway, so how is it that you can do delivery and you can
delivery
do
and Connect? You see it?
Delivery, yeah, I see it. Yeah, deliveries and Connect, but you can't do basic rides or Premier. No, you've got on Uber. What do you have? X and XL.
So on Uber, no. So on Uber, I should have Comfort Electric is the highest Comfort. So all the standard platform rides and then Comfort Electric. I don't have XL because I don't have even on Uber, even if I had the extra seats, it wouldn't give me the extra. It wouldn't give me XL.
Wow, it's interesting. And with Lyft,
smaller car, yeah,
but with Lyft, you're completely out.
Right, with Lyft, I'm completely out. So Lyft, I would normally have access to Lyft Lux Black, Lux, which we're not sure if that's going to be going away or not. They said that it was. We're still on the fence about on that, and then all the other platforms.
Wow, that's well, yeah. But Klaus is saying because they are two separate accounts. That's how. But it doesn't matter if they're separate accounts or not, because we're going to leave Eddie in timeout for a minute because the way we look here, and we'll leave Eddie over there for right now. Eddie's backstage in the green room. He's
picking his nose right now.
Yeah, he's picking his nose, sucking on his burrito.
Checking on his anal baby.
On his anal baby. Not the anal baby. Klaus, it wouldn't matter though, Klaus, because he's a driver for Uber, and they would be the same background check.
Well, this is what I find interesting. So even if they were separate, right? And they're supposed to be separate. They're not representing them separately, at least so far. When I go to Checker to look at which platforms or which applications I've applied for, it's not showing Uber at all. Yet when I contact Uber, I called them on Monday. So when I called them, they said my background check is already complete and that they need to update it in their internal system. So they said that they were transferring it to their internal team. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. They wouldn't give me a reference number. The person that I spoke to, they wouldn't give me their full name, saying that their policy is not to give their full name. So I have no real way to reference the conversation. She claimed if I go and contact Uber again, they'll have it in my notes and it's connected to my account. But how do I know? It's a lack of transparency. That's a lack of communication. That's a lack of faith and trust for me to have with this company. They're making no way for me to be able to, really get my teeth in and get this fixed, whatever the issue may be. They're claiming that the background check is complete, but when you go to Checker, it shows no information. And I'll put up a video showing that screenshot where you can see Lyft is still pending and it hasn't been fully processed yet. But it said that the original completion date was supposed to be the 28th of last month. So
wow. That's craziness, man. And you said you got the emails? Because I know when they run the background checks on me, I get an email saying, "Hey, we're running background checks on you. Don't worry, keep driving. You're good." So I don't understand. I don't know. And is anybody out there in the chat? Anybody out there having these issues with the background check? I know Eddie, you had a problem with the background check, didn't you, with Uber?
Yeah, they took the first time they took a couple of months. That was when I was with the Tesla, and then they did it again with when I was doing the when I rented one of the cars through Lyft. They were giving me a hard time.
Thinking the same thing, Glide. Thinking the same thing. And actually, so this is interesting. I checked my Uber Black account just to be sure. So your phone number doesn't matter in association with your ID. You can put either number, right? So my Uber Black account is cleared on the background check, but not my regular Uber account. So make that make sense.
Do I need to go get the tinfoil here? Do I need to go get the tinfoil here? I don't want to listen. I'm just saying, Steven, what's your acceptance rating?
Oh, you know what? Interesting. So since they made their change, right? I had jumped all the way up to like my acceptance rating is tiny, but my cancellation jumped up to like 20 something%.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Because it only took a few rides since they made the change to the two. Remember they said that they wanted to make it more consistent, right?
Right. I've got that now. Right. Yeah,
right.
I got that.
So I canceled it. Some may have been because of accidental, but there was one I canceled on purpose at the Pomona Fair because she kept calling me. And this is something that Uber needs. Hashtag Uber fix. This is something that they need to fix. They when somebody calls you on the app and it's in app, it completely gets rid of your map. So how am I supposed to locate what I'm trying to go and everything if my screen is entirely taken up by the phone call information?
Oh, 100%. Dude. Yeah,
it's not like I already stopped or anything like that. I'm still in the middle of trying to get to the passenger. I don't know the area because I'm not familiar with the Pomona Fair over here. I just happened to drop somebody off because I was driving Lyft before I turned on the Uber app. And I was going to pick this person up because it was on the way. It was a long drive back home and it was on my way. I turned on a destination filter. And this person would not stop calling me, and she was giving me attitude on the phone. And I'm like, do I really want this person in my car? Do I really want to get the 1 star off this person because they have an attitude? Because I'm not familiar with this area. I'm like, man, it's not even worth it. Drop that ride and kept going.
Did you get? Well, I got my cancellation rate went down to like 2%, like all of a sudden.
Nice.
when they did
Yeah,
the
no, mine started.
when they
Mine,
did the change.
yeah, so mine was down, but then it shot up almost immediately because I had like probably 2 or 3 of my rides that I canceled. But as far as let me see, I'll look at it right now. I'm at 3%, 3% acceptance rating.
So mine shut down. The cancellation rate shut down, and then my acceptance rate kind of stayed the same. So
We get a
Jeez.
lot of bad rides. We get a lot of so many rides that don't cut it for me because I want a $30 to $31 because they're supposed to be paying me that extra dollar, $30 to $31 an hour rate.
yeah, I saw. I was watching Jeff's video and stuff. How all these the crappy rides that they were giving him
Yeah,
from the radar. It was so
yeah,
bad.
they were so bad.
They were so
Even just the
bad.
regular, yeah, they're absolute garbage. And it's like, what do you expect me to do? I turn on the app and I'm willing to give rides, but you got to pay me fair. And
Right.
I don't want to jump off of this subject, but keep in mind Uber Comfort because I have a few things to say about that too.
No,
Comfort Electric.
let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go right into it. Go right into it, bro.
Okay,
You got
yeah.
the floor.
Yeah, so with Comfort Electric, I've been running some tests using the Rider app, and most times, and I think I've shown you the screenshots. Most times, it doesn't even give you the option for Comfort Electric. What's good, Kiki? So if it never puts it up in the list, but it's still putting Select in the list and a few of these other obscure ride types, how is anybody ever gonna choose or select Comfort Electric? Now, I would expect with Comfort Electric, you're gonna get a little bit of a nicer car. Now, to be fair, I know that the Model 3 qualifies for Comfort Electric, but it's like the rate that Comfort Electric tends to pay at is around like $60 an hour rate, which it's like, okay, that gives me incentive to have a newer electric vehicle on the platform. But if you're not even putting it in the list for people to select, and I was online on my Uber app, so there's on the driver app, so there was an electric car in the area to take the ride. I just find it kind of frustrating. It's like they need to actually advertise it, or at least make it present in the list of ride types, or else it's completely useless. And driving my vehicle on their platforms is useless. Oh yeah, Stagecoach. I sat there on a $23 surge, I
Yeah.
believe it was.
I was just gonna bring that up. I was just gonna
Yeah,
bring that up. They put me on
yeah,
a search, and I'll sit there. I'll sit there for like an hour before they
yeah.
give me a call.
I sat
And
there
they
for
give me
10
and they give
hours.
me and they give me what?
I had 10 out. I had left Uber running in the background while I was doing Lyft Lux Black rides. And for 10 hours, I did not get a ride on Comfort Electric. 10
Yeah,
hours.
they've been definitely throttling back now. If they're doing this to a lot of people, this means sooner or later it's gonna really backfire because nobody's picking up the client.
Oh, this is interesting.
Nobody's picking up.
How did I missed this other message?
Oh
I
man,
saw where
after
he's
waiting for 3 weeks, mine lasted months.
and that's when so I'm kind of
And then
moving to a go ahead.
and then communicating with them is truly impossible.
I'm talking to a wall. I'm talking to an
Yeah,
absolute wall. Like I
because they
said,
read the damn script. I was like, hey, can you give me to somebody like in the States, please?
right.
You know?
No, I like I said, when I talked to them, I asked them. I wanted the full name of the person I was speaking to. They wouldn't give me their full name. They said it was part of their policy. They don't give the full name. Okay, whatever. Give me a reference number so I can reference this conversation and say they already told me my background check is clear. Because when I go next time and I talk to another agent, they're going to be like, "Oh, well, you need to do a background check," and I'm like, well, my app is saying that it's already in what's it called? It's already processing, and it's waiting for it. I can't put any. There's nothing for me to input. So what am I supposed to do? And I did receive something earlier that says, let's see, implementation of Michigan's Clean Slate Act results in delays in background checks. Michigan's Clean Slate Act went into effect April 2023, creating a process for law enforcement and courts in Michigan to set aside certain convictions. To implement this law, some courts in Michigan have temporarily limited access to records required to complete background checks. Our background check providers report that this has created a delay to complete the annual background checks that Michigan law requires TNCs like Uber to complete for drivers. We appreciate your patience as we wait for courts in Michigan to finish their database updates and restore access to court records.
But then you wonder also too how sometimes they do these background checks because sometimes you see people driving and they don't even know how to drive.
Oh, yeah.
I have had some writers that actually tell me the same thing. So, they always keep sending me this guy, because this guy doesn't even keep the car clean, and he's always like stepping on the brake, like he doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah.
And I don't know how these guys' background checks pass. Okay, and then on the good drivers, they take such a long time.
Well, it's amazing. Somebody mentioned it here. Where was it? I wanted to bring this up. Octavian, was it Octavian that said it? Yeah.
The issues.
I think with all these Uber issues lately, drivers will take less and less rides. I mean, it's going to happen, bro. Now, maybe that's what they want. I'm trying very hard not to go in there and grab me a bunch of tinfoil.
I don't know. I think they're gonna mess up. They're really gonna mess up.
But the thing we were tripping off of is, okay, you don't let me drive people, but you still let me go to people's addresses and do connects and deliveries. I'm still finding people on your platform. So why can I do these two, but I can't drive people? What kind of sense does that make,
bro?
You think they're trying to replace us? Trying to move
Craig,
us out?
We appreciate that, Craig. Craig.
Craig.
Craig.
There she is.
This is Sparta!
You're welcome, Craig again. He was here last time too.
She. Listen. Like, she's a hustler, bro. Craig's a hustler. The more I'm starting to watch and see her over on Gig Wars official, they run those streams like damn near 24 hours a day. Like if you want to do, just because I'm just saying, hear me out for a second. Just because we don't have something going on the Rideshare Garage, man, y'all got to go check out Gig Wars official. You can jump on their panel at any time. Anytime. Look at Glad. I don't know who this Glad is, but me and Glad are gonna have a meeting of the minds, bro. I'm just saying. Back to what you guys were talking about. I mean, at some point they're gonna keep playing games. It's either gonna play games with the older veteran drivers, right? Or they truly are trying to flip out the old drivers and bring in the new drivers.
And bring in new ones.
Yeah.
But then if they bring the new ones, they're gonna bring in the not so good drivers, and they're gonna start bringing the yellow cab back into rideshare and into Uber and Lyft.
They've already got that. It's in Orlando now. They run Mears Taxi. They run Mears Taxi out of Orlando. There's a couple of cities in the area that have that. That have the
and then they have the Tesla rentals. But imagine somebody renting a Tesla, but the car stinks. It's not even clean. They keep it all dirty. They don't speak any English, and not only that, they give the client an attitude and they kick them out the car.
All these apps want, and this isn't a negative on the apps, but all the apps want is a good earner, man. They want a good earner, and so you gotta, maybe sometimes you gotta start thinking in terms of, am I a good driver or am I a good earner? Because that's going to be the difference between whether you stay in rideshare or any of the gig economy apps. Are you a good earner? Are you a good earner for Walmart Spark? Are you a good earner for Uber Eats, DoorDash? That's where it's coming to. And I'm not saying they're doing that. I mean, that's a far stretch. We have no idea. But then again, they're about as transparent as a brick wall at night, painted black. You can't see that some bitch. You're going to smash right into it, though. Heads up. You know, you're gonna be like Eddie walking around with
Emotional damage.
because you can't.
Okay, the money that they didn't give me today with Lyft, I got it short in the stock. So
Oh man.
yeah.
Huh. We'll see now. Hey, we'll save that. By the way, if you guys are if you guys join us on the Monday or the in the morning show with Eddie and Vinny, shit. I'm starting to get too much of this. Eddie, you're gonna be on your own tomorrow, buddy.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We might hold on. Now, I'm gonna share this. I don't know. Did you guys talk about this?
Vinny Thomas said he could come in if you
Lyft is open to selling and stuff. There might not be any buyers. David Rich recently said that the rideshare company is open to selling itself, but there is a kicker. There is no obvious acquirer.
Surprise!
They're waiting for the company to just come down even farther before they buy it.
So, by the way, I gotta do this for Cray because I missed it. To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, got to do that. Red, Ceci, Kiki, and Eddie. Eddie, you're part of the ladies crew, bro.
Oh, nice.
Cray's like,
nice. Amazing.
Like, don't mess with me. Punk. I got you, punk. I got you. All right, let's get back to some serious stuff. Let's see, Thomas, what's good? Oh, yeah, you can come on.
What Melvin said?
What?
Melvin said he turned in his Tesla rental.
Well, I was trying to get to that, and then Eddie went into this whole other thing. He says, I turned in my Tesla rental from Hertz. It's not worth it. I was practically getting the same crap as an Uber X driver. Not worth it. You can't do the Tesla rental with just one app. You got to be driving and doing Uber Eats, doing the Spark thing, the DoorDash thing, if you got it available. You cannot rent that Tesla and just drive rideshare. It will not work. I don't care how badass you are. You ain't going to keep it up. Can't do it. Eddie couldn't do it. Eddie had to do Uber Eats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
in the rental, for me to be able to afford the rental, I would have to do X Eats, but there has to be a quest behind it, or else it won't work because you just don't make enough.
And now
you
they
gotta
changed
hustle.
it to $1. Yeah, now they changed it to $1.
You gotta hustle. So if you think about it now, my quest have not changed. They're still the same. But once it changes, now I can't do that strategy anymore with the Tesla. And even if I had the option or I had to rent the Tesla, I wouldn't rent it. I would have to go to a alternate route.
Oh.
But the Tesla it's very expensive. Now it's going to be very expensive once they change that to a whole bunch of people that can't reach their quest because they're not getting any rides or good rides.
Well, these quests, that like for me, the quest during the week this week for Uber, earn $475, get a $20 bonus.
Melvin, I agree with you, but I also think part of it is not even them necessarily throttling as much as we've got so many new drivers on the road. And the math is already supported that we've got 2/3 more drivers on the road than compared to like last year.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if you've been to a hub, but I went to the hub and there were so many people all around this building. Fortunately, all I wanted was the LAX placard so I could drive the airport because they got me in and out. But they had people sitting on couches, people over at the tables getting support. It was crazy. And on on the Uber Black side and on the standard rides side.
Seems to be a lot of questions in the or a lot of comments tonight talking about how is everybody's market.
My market is dead slow.
VAE, they are. They're slow. I mean, I'm doing better than I'm gonna say I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I worked yesterday, right? Tuesday. I did like 5 rides for 160. But I got to tell you guys, and this is Fight Club material, but I'm gonna put it out there to you. Y'all better start looking at these scheduled rides. Instead, let me ask you a question. If you on the Lyft app has made scheduled rides easy to find. Now, I'm doing a video tomorrow. Okay, the differences between these apps on Android and these apps on Apple, because there are differences in the way you see things, especially with Lyft. But with that being said, you guys got to start looking at these scheduled rides, man. I just think that's the pivot right now. I think more and more people are scheduling rides, especially on if you're XL and above. You better start looking at those scheduled rides. And you know what?
And wake up early. Wake up early, really early.
It might not be an Eddie thing where you pick up a ride, park, and wait. People ain't using the apps like that right now. At least I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just saw that Vibes Addict said he $77 yesterday, $50 today, right? I just saw Talib just said Orlando is terrible. Orlando should be popping right now. It's Memorial Weekend.
It's actually interesting.
We're talking here.
Yeah, here for scheduled rides, I've been noticing that the rides are really not paying well for the scheduled rides over in Los Angeles. Because a lot of them are barely paying over $30 an hour, if that. Some of them are really long distances and high traffic, long drive times, even if it's a short distance. So yeah, I've been noticing that the rides that are coming in, because I tried to supplement that in using just Lyft, since I wasn't going to be doing Uber anyway. I was going to make most of my money off of the scheduled rides, and I've been noticing the scheduled rides have been dropping significantly in value, and then it's not even worth driving to where the scheduled rides are. I had one Good Lucks, and the guy put the pin in the wrong location. I'm in the inner city, and he's at one of the offshoot airports.
All right, real quick, I want to hip you guys to something. It's called the Gig Worker Conference. It's going to be held in Denver. I'm not real familiar with it, but from what I understand, a bunch of gig workers or gig tubers or whatever you want to call them are going to meet up, and they're going to have this, I guess what it says, a Gig Worker Conference. Red's not with us tonight. Hopefully she'll be with us next week, and she can explain a little more about it. But if that's something you guys are interested in, I put the link in the comments. I'll even pin it to the top. So if that's something you want, you can see it. It'll be a pin message here, so you can check that out. As far as people's markets right now, listen, we've been preaching this. We've been preaching this for 2 months. Y'all better figure out a pivot. And when it starts slowing down, all that stuff we used, I'm not saying I ain't telling people what to do with their cherry picking and stuff, but $1 a mile might be good right now. $1 a mile, because listen.
But that's what we're talking about. They force you. They give you a
I was getting rides with
type of.
Yeah, I was getting rides with $2 a mile, but it doesn't matter if it eats up. If it eats up all my time.
Right, but that's what I mean. They're going to force drivers to capitulate.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to force drivers to capitulate. If you don't know what that means they're going to force you to make a decision. You're either going to back off your stance and your standards and lower your standards, or you're going to wind up, either looking for a W-2 or switching to other apps. Listen, don't get so locked in on 1 or 2 apps because they've been really good to you in the past. Maybe try something else. Maybe you try Roadie. Maybe you try an Instacart if you can get in, or a DoorDash if you can get in, or a Shipt. Maybe you try some of these other apps. You're going to have to do something, because I'm seeing a lot of drivers, man, they're dropping like flies out here. They're dropping like flies. I'm seeing the same comments from everybody. And believe me, I'm seeing it down here too. Klaus knows Driven by O, right? Omar, that's on with us all the time. Oh my God. Like, even this is the one guy I thought would never change the way he works, his MO. I'll be damned. He done changed his MO. Now he yells at me because I don't reserve rides for him. When I see him in the app and pick him up for him. Like I'm his goddamn secretary or some shit. I just cussed him out 2 minutes ago. Shit. Better get your own shit. What the hell? I might take that ride. Well, I'm gonna hold it for you? Hell no. Hell no. But yeah, see, like Gig Ward's here, she just said, Red just said she just did her first roadie last week or this week, and I got on Curry. Now I don't know what Curry is. Well, I know what Curry is. If
I don't even think Roadie's here.
If I'm talking to some island people, I know what that curry is. Boy, that curry tastes good. Curry, woo, curry steak, curry goat.
Oh, I got curry chicken last night.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But with this curry, oh my God, I don't want to bring this guy.
No, my wife made curry chicken
Put him
last
back
night.
in for a minute because he's going to completely disrupt this
Our whole conversation.
conversation. This guy's going to completely disrupt us. All right, y'all, listen, I'm going to bring him in because, you know, he comes in when he feels like it. So we got a cameo from the one and only Chicago Lux driver himself with, if you ain't got a picture of the Escalade, bro, I'm bouncing you out for good. Here we go. Brandon.
Haters be hating.
Haters be
Don't you
hating.
mean haters
Oh,
gonna
bro.
hate?
What's going on, B? How you doing, brother? We ain't seen you in a minute.
Man, just this is like going faster than I imagined, man. Like I'm getting so many requests. I just had to broker my first ride to another driver.
You had to broker it, so you're gonna take a little piece on top.
Yeah, I'm taking
That's
10%.
what broker means.
I'm
That's
taking
what broker
10%.
means. You're gonna pimp the other driver. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm taking 10% of the fare.
We got to get you a hat, bro. We got to get you the big pimp hats with the little, you know,
Damn,
Three
10%.
Musketeers flower. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. That's
Oh.
I mean, it's $100 ride and then giving a driver 90.
Yeah, no. I met some people over here and they always take 20.
Well, this is an inner group that's with my fleet owner, and I actually got a ride from another person in that group earlier, and he gave me 90%. So,
Nice.
you know, I passed along the favor.
Oh my God. All right. So bring us up to date because everybody else, dude, they're not doing well in their markets, and you seem to be doing okay in your markets. You want to bring everybody up to speed on what you've been doing?
So, for those who don't know, about 5 to 6 weeks ago, I started to do black rides in Uber because I finally got my chauffeur's license and I finally found a company a fleet owner to give me a black car. I started off in a Suburban, had that for a week, got tired of the trash suspension, so I ended up switching to a 2019 Navigator. Loved it. It was great, but it had like lots of little issues that kept eating my time. So, you know, this fleet owner pretty much only gets like used vehicles. And I'm like, man, like I straight up told him, like, get me a brand new truck and I'll pay $1,000 a week. I don't want to deal with no problems. Dealing with problems makes me lose money. And he basically gave me the side talk conversation. Oh, I'm going to get something else. And then you come to find out he's only just getting like 2021 still used. I was like, bro, I told you, I'm willing to give you the money for it. Just buy it for me. I will sign a contract. I guarantee for a year that I will have it. Still didn't do it. So Musa pulled through and gave me a contact number for another fleet owner who has nothing but brand new Escalades and Navigators. So I immediately came up with an excuse to drop that guy and got my money from him. And now I'm in a 2023 Escalade ESV, and since I've gotten it, I have gotten private clients out of fucking crazy. Like today, 80% of the money I made today was from private rides. I only did
But you're legal to do those private rides.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, you can't just say that because you went and got the licensing and everything.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah. I got the licensing. I got the vehicle with the commercial insurance and all
I'm
that.
just
So
saying, that's,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta remember this is, okay. So there's this conference that's been came here that had 60,000 people, like a restaurant convention, and yesterday, another convention came in on top of that convention that had 18,000. So you can imagine 78,000 people trying to request a ride at 5 p.m. in Chicago. It takes a while. So
Yeah.
I had a lot of people very quickly like, hey, can I get your information? Can I get your information? Because they know they don't want to wait like an hour or 2 hours to get a driver. So I was pretty much since like the last 3 or 4 days I've been doing 3 or 4 private rides a day, and today was the first time where I had to deal with a situation that I had 2 private clients requesting a ride within the same time frame. Not exactly the same time frame, but I wouldn't
But
have
close enough.
I wouldn't have been able to get back in time to pick them up. So
Mhm.
my current fleet owner gave me access to a private WeChat group that's nothing but Escalades.
Nice.
If you don't have an Escalade, you can't be in that group. So yeah, I was I was able to, and it's for Chicago only because I mean there'd be too much confusion if people outside there. It'd be it's simplified that way so that people won't get confused when I say, oh, pick someone up at this place and this place, and someone from Florida responds, oh yeah, I can be there. That would cause too many problems.
Right.
So anyways, so yeah, I did that, and there's only a couple of requests come in. So when I posted it, I got a response within like 10 seconds because those guys are watching that chat for those rides because they're like even with me taking 10%.
If the car ain't moving, bro. If the car ain't moving, you ain't making no money.
Yeah, and then even with
Right.
me only taking 10%, like the guy's still making more than he would have made doing an app ride. So
And that brings me to a point where Steven, I don't know if Steven's still pursuing his fleet ownership.
Oh yeah.
The more these apps get into trouble, the more what Brandon's doing, the more what Steven's doing, the more what I used to do is going to become more the normal.
the only reason why I've gone as hard as I can is because Lyft. I invested heavily into Lyft before the Thanksgiving purge, and that forced my hand. I had to go all the way to the top. If that would have never happened, I would have been perfectly happy with Lyft doing Lux Black rides in my Porsche, and I probably would have done that for a while and made some really good money. But now I'm forced. Now I was forced to do this because it was either do this or go back to my corporate life and be an engineer, and that's boring for me.
It's not just right. It's not what you want to do.
So yeah, it was like when I had the Suburban and Navigator, like when I had the Suburban, it was just kind of just nothing but app rides. I got the Navigator. I started to get a couple private clients here and there, but the moment I got the Escalade, that changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
People get in there, and it's the ESV, so it's got the
Yeah, I know.
super length. It
Yeah.
could easily fit 6 adults with plenty of room. So as soon as I get a party of 6 in there and they love it, they're like, "Hey, can we get your card? We need a ride to the airport later." And this
Listen.
just kept happening over and over again.
All I'm going to say to you is about time you got into a real truck. That's all I'm going to say. About time you got into a real SUV. You put down
My
the child,
my
you pick up
own
the tools of a man. That's all I'm going to say to
my
you.
own personal opinions have nothing to do with business. The business calls for Escalades, and that's what I'm going to cater to.
Unless you're from Jersey.
Unless you're from Jersey, that's right, and your name is Nick.
So, yeah,
Randy
it's been I did not
Randy
expect
wants
it to
to
go
know.
this fast.
Randy wants to know how much is the Escalade rental. Now, you don't have to answer that.
$900 a week. It's supposed to be $1,000, but he's giving me $100 off because he has like 5 or 6 that are just parked there, not and he can't find a driver. So he gave me 10% off.
Listen, let me tell you.
Wait, he can't find drivers?
You can't find drivers that are willing
for
to pay $1,000
$1,000. Yeah,
for $1,000 a
Oh.
week, and it uses premium gas.
we'll do it.
But you realize Brandon's driving a $125,000 truck.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's 90,000. It's the base model. It's not the premium luxury.
The base model ESV is at base right now about 98,000.
Oh, okay, all right. So $100,000 truck, still
Easy $100,000 truck.
Plus, I don't have to worry
Easy.
about maintenance.
Plus the insurance.
And if the vehicle only has 20,000 miles, but for whatever some god reason the vehicle breaks down, I can same day get in another Escalade, no problem. That's why
Right.
that's why I'm willing to pay that extra money for a fleet owner, because of that luxury. If I were to go get my own vehicle, my own plates, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble if that car breaks down.
Well, and that goes back.
Because time is money.
Well, time is money, and people need to. At the end of the day, that's the bottom line. So that's why I feel for guys in California, in New York, in New Jersey, and even in Chicago, because drivers there, your 4-mile ride can take you a half hour. And
during rush hour, yeah, it can.
Yeah,
or like events when like of what happened yesterday, a 4-mile drive took me an hour.
Say what?
A 4-mile drive took me an hour.
Jesus Christ!
And then, so Brandon, if you had your own Escalade and you were buying it personal, would you still be able to use it for business? Could you get it registered library? See, and so that's another thing to take into an account in different markets. Like, because for example, me buying my own car, if I don't get it purchased under a business, I can't register it commercially, and it can't be used for business.
Chicago allows me to do it under a sole proprietor as long as I only have one vehicle in my fleet.
I wish California did that.
118.
And now the second I try to add a second, and that's when we're like, oh no, you got to switch to a business now. Well, I mean, it's still a business, but it's
but you can register your county will still let you take the vehicle and put commercial insurance and all that. Like, I can put commercial insurance, but it doesn't do me any good because Uber requires it to be registered under the PUC, under the Public Utilities Commission.
Yeah. So.
But now the income with the caddy has it been worth it for the $1,000 a week?
So you can't. Okay, so I'm trying to find a way to say this without sounding too much like an asshole.
Oh, you can't help it. Just go.
Do it. You have to hustle, and you have to know that you cannot rely on the app. If you try to do it, if you're gonna rely on the app 100%, get you a Expedition or a Suburban, and you'll be fine. You can find it. You can even my current fleet owner said that he will buy someone a brand new Expedition 2023 for $700 a week, brand new. But all you're gonna get is app rides, because you might get a couple of people that will do your private, but people that do private generally only want Navigators or Escalades. So switching to the Escalade was, I'm spending $300. No, I'm spending $200 more, and then also my gas expenses pretty much doubled. But I'm putting that cost in there so that I can more easily get private rides, because the car speaks for itself. The car in the space speaks for itself. I'm not like Musa, where I'm gonna like just hustle the shit out of everybody and just toss everybody and trick them to doing it. Because
he's a boss.
I let my professionalism and I let the vehicle do the work. And if they want to come to me, I give them the card. I at least for me, the way I work, I find that to be the much easier way, and they're much more likely to contact me for a ride, because I gave that vibe. I wasn't pressuring them. I was just doing my thing, and then they loved it, and then that's why I got it. I mean, this week, like the today, I want to talk a little bit about the private ride I did earlier today for a few hours. I picked up the dude at Four Seasons, took him to Trump to pick up a friend. They went to breakfast. Oh, I'm being paid for this entire time. They went to breakfast. I had the luggage in the back. I waited like half an hour, 45 minutes for them. Picked them up. I picked them up and took them to the Bean. Then I took them to Giordano's. They had lunch there after that.
Oh, Giordano's is amazing.
Yeah, and then after that, they wanted to talk some business at a Bentley dealership in Gold Coast. So I took them there. They were there for about 45 minutes, whatever they were doing. Obviously, I was in my truck, so whatever. I come to find out they was actually purchasing a Rolls Royce because I heard him talking on the phone about having his Cullinan being shipped to Miami. I'm like, oh, okay.
You should have gave me my number.
So I would have
Vinny. What?
Vinny.
Brandon.
Get an Escalade. I will get you business. I promise you.
Trust me when I tell you I don't want it. I don't want their business. I don't want the business. And listen. Understand.
There's a lot of people that come from Chicago and go to Miami.
Trust me when I tell you I got a client list that's full of ballers. It's just I don't want any more of that kind of business.
Okay.
You understand? For me, my pivot is to get away from commitment instead of being committed to. That's been my pivot. That's been my whole goal for the last 6 months. Because and I'm glad you're here tonight because even Bucky's saying it to Eddie. Eddie, 100K truck would be a waste of money in Austin.
Oh yeah.
There are so many SUVs out there and not a lot of demand. So
that's why I got with the Caddy with the XC6. I'm like right in between.
There's just as much competition in there, which is why it's critical. If you go to this level, speaking from experience, I learned very rapidly. Your professionalism, your attire, the way you talk, the knowledge you have of your city.
Yep.
Knowing what's good and what's good to eat, what's bad to eat, knowing shortcuts around the city, like all these little things that you would only get after doing like 4.
Brandon, hold on a second. What in the hell did you just beat the hell out of Eddie over there? He was blood stomping a goddamn floor over there so hard that when he took his hat off and hit it, the little comb over came flying back the other way. The fly. Oh my God, Brandon, and I agree. That is the biggest difference between a professional Lux driver, a professional limo driver, and what Uber and Lyft drivers on the regular platforms. There's a big difference there. There's a big pay difference there.
So on top of that.
But you have an advantage, Brandon, because not all markets have the Uber Black. What do y'all call it?
SUV. Black SUV.
Black SUV.
No.
Not all the markets have that.
I think I beg to differ. Look, I think in Austin, I think the private rides. I think the market is here. All the tech companies that are here. We already got a couple of movie stars that are coming here to do the filming, so they're gonna need private cars too. So I think the business is here, but like Vinny said, this is why we do the pivot. Dude, I don't want to be doing this forever. I can't be doing this forever.
I live in Miami, bro. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach. Do you understand the amount of wealth that is down here? You don't.
Dennis Quaid is the needle driver.
Eddie, the dude that I drove, he was flying a private jet to Miami, and on the way there, he was calling a guy to reserve a helicopter to pick him up in Miami.
Yeah.
And so like that's Miami's big money.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that market is here. I see it. You can't help it.
It's gonna be like all the top tech companies are there because the fiber is overbuilt in Texas.
There was 2 big black buses, and and they were being escorted by cops. So I wonder who was in there. But there's a lot of Escalade. There's a lot of Escalades here.
One more
A lot of
thing.
Escalades.
If I ever get a rapper as a client, I have access to bulletproof SUVs. And I can charge them $500 to $600 an hour.
Yeah. I'm thinking that your SUV, your Escalade right now is bulletproof anyway.
Eddie, tell him he's used to that shit in Chicago.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, so like
No more bulletproof vest. Don't need it no more.
There's some rappers in here who will go here to perform, and they know that they got some ops in the hood, and they don't want those ops coming from the hood over to the downtown and shooting them up. So they want to show up in a bulletproof truck just to be safe.
Yeah, so they'll shoot you while you're in the truck waiting for them. I'm telling you.
I mean, I guess it's better than
before
not
you get out
having
the
a
car. You're gonna be
bulletproof.
like this. You're gonna be like, looking
Hey,
over your shoulder.
not talking about too much, but I dealt with that one time already in another country, so I have a little bit of experience dealing with that.
Yeah, no. I usually don't worry about it too much, but I still do have eyes behind my head, kind of like from living in New York. For too long.
I still think now with my eyes open, there's potential for this in all the major markets, but you have to
until you get shot.
There's a chance, but you have to understand that a lot of this, I'll say this. Not all black car drivers are equal. I've showed a couple of screenshots in Discord of a black car driver in tennis shoes and jeans and a striped polo shirt. Like, what? Dude, like, these guys don't care.
No.
And these passengers are gonna recognize that. And they're like, man, the guy I had yesterday, he wasn't dressed good, or his car was dirty, and you came up and your car is in pristine condition, fresh, smells good. Like, give them every reason to ask for your number, and then once they ask for your number, that's a guaranteed customer for life as long as you treat them good.
Correct, and make sure your carrier make sure it's a Glock. It's not an XD. Okay.
When I first jumped up and I put Kitty on the Lux platforms, the first thing I did was went and took a course on how to drive a Rolls Royce.
Key. I live in Chicago. I've had to learn the lingo. All right. I've driven a couple of people who have some opposing people in some areas in Chicago. So I've had to learn how to. I've had to diversify my culture because of that. Anyway, I've had to learn where certain gangs are and where they're not, where their territory is. So
that's why you have a bulletproof fucking truck. Anyway,
I have access to it. I don't have one though, but I can get one if needed.
That's some bullshit. Anyway,
I think they're all bulletproof.
Bullshit. You ain't lying. Listen,
I think they're all bulletproof.
Like I was saying, if anybody here really wants to step up their game and they want to get into that level of service, I don't begrudge you, because that service is going to come back. The more Uber and Lyft chase each other to the bottom, listen, I don't know when Lyft plans to pull Lux off the platform, but when they do, Brandon's type of business is going to go up. Because if they pull Lux, they're going to have to do something with Lux Black. Because you can't just have Uber or Lyft Shared XL and then jump into Lux Black. The more I think about this shit over the last 2 weeks, the more it baffles me.
Mr. OCD, to answer your question, before my 7% rebate from Lyft and additional 5% rebate from the card they provide me, a full tank of gas in Chicago premium is $120. It's like 20 gallons.
Oh my God. Hey.
What?
Uber Jeep AZ. Are you listening, bro? Ain't nobody. Hey, are you listening, bro?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Bro, that was all over his video today. He was
I don't
telling
do black car service. I do crack car service.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Here you go. Here you go, Jeff. Get him high. So high.
Key, you know, you're right, and that's because there's a lot of ballers, and I have to cater to all ballers of all types in order for me to, you know, get as many private rides as possible. Like, there was a guy who knows some people that do some things, and you know, luckily because I
need to stop you right there, Brandon. Brandon, no, we're not doing that here, bro. I wouldn't give a damn. We're not doing that here. Yes, I put him in timeout on purpose. He understands, right, Brandon? I love you to death, bro. You're like the little brother I never wish I never had. Okay, but I'm just saying. Okay, be
All
careful
right.
what you say. All right.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So what had happened was
All right, I'm stealing the show away from you guys. I'll
No,
go
it's
back.
not that. No. But what I'm saying is you know, if you're going to move into the Lux platforms, Premier SUV, and if you plan to take your driving to the next level, there is a course where you can learn how to drive like they drive Rolls Royce, and they teach you instead of hitting the brakes, you warm the brakes. It teaches you how to ease into the brakes so that your rider doesn't feel at any point other than some banana head cutting you right off. But that shouldn't happen either, because driving a Rolls Royce, they teach you it's not 3 or 4 seconds, it's 5 seconds or more to the car in front of you. You
So just
take
get a
your
Tesla.
time. You are in no
avoid all
rush.
that stuff.
These are the different things.
I
And
will
Brent,
say though that the Escalade and Navigators have very soft brakes, and it makes that a lot easier.
oh yeah, most GM SUVs, most American SUVs have soft brakes. Even our Cadillacs, the XT6s, they got soft brakes. They're not hard brakes at all.
Yeah,
They're very easy to
makes
control.
it. Yes, it does. It does.
I just
So-
hate when it breaks. When I'm going backwards to turn around and it comes really near the curb and it starts beeping, beep, 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 and then the freaking car breaks. Boom. You know, I was like, oh, come on. It's like I'm not even
But
close.
Brandon, so here's a real good question I got for Brandon.
Sure.
Since he's found this newfound income level, right? Because a lot of drivers don't do this, bro.
What
You're
you do with
eating right
Porsche?
now. You're eating really, really good right now, right?
I am, but I'm also working a lot of
that's
hours.
fine.
You're doing it
That's
my
fine.
way. That's right.
That's fine. The question is are you squirreling that money away? Are you putting it away for the bad?
I'm using that money to catch up on some past issues I've had. Once I catch up on that, then I'm gonna focus my money into paying off the Porsche to the point where I could trade it in without losing any money. And then I'm gonna start saving like an MFR. But until then, I need to get rid of that Porsche because it's costing me money to sit there every day. On top of the interest, on top of the money gets added every day because of simple interest, and also the fact that I'm paying for parking. So it is even though I'm not driving it, it's still costing me money. So I need to get that. Once I get rid of those two burdens, then yes, I will start saving, because obviously I need to make sure that when dry January comes again, that I have enough in the reserves to not have to worry and be like all the other drivers out here and start doing a regular XL and a $120,000 truck.
I'm seeing
Brandon,
it
we
all
got-
over the place down here, bro. All over the place. I've been screaming about this from the top of my lungs. Everybody jumped on and went and got these goddamn SUVs during the free, I call it the free money run. You know, when we had the pause and they were just giving out free money. Everybody traded in their Hyundais and got Suburbans and Escalades. And I'm telling you right now, they're out here doing comfort rides, bro. There's not a doubt in my mind. Because they got to make that nut. That's why I asked you as a point of reference, are you squirreling money away? Because if you don't, and this is a lesson to every other rider out here or every other driver or gig app worker, when the money's good, that don't mean it's going to be good all the time. And you got to learn to put money away.
Right now,
Well-
I'm not, but that's just because I am using that money towards things that I need to get paid off. And then once that happens, then yes, I will start squirreling away money.
All right. So here's a question I guess would be for you and would be for Steven, because Steven's out in that Cali market. Do you have any tips for finding people who are renting out black cars? That's from Derek Vaval. Vival. Vavel? Vaval.
Um,
How'd you find your guy?
so I
know his
found my.
Facebook
I
page
mean, I'll be honest. I found I found both my guys because of Musa. But if it wasn't for him, I basically would have hustled at the black car lot and try to get people to talk and say, hey, how do you drive? Who you driving for? Do they have any cars available? And if they're not willing to talk, then I might have to sell. I was actually, before Musa telling me, I was actually trying to pay off some drivers just so I can get their fleet owner information, because that stuff here is very, very secretive. Like, I couldn't find any of these guys on Google, no matter how many hours they're searched for. So it's all word of mouth. So if you really want to get into it, you at least here you might have to pay a couple people off so you can get that information.
For me, I was able to find people over at the lot. So when I first started thinking about getting into the higher platforms, and I had no idea you actually had to have a separate black account, and I learned that on the way.
Yep.
And actually, when I went to go ask some of the people, because they were standing around in the black lot, and then there was some people that were parked in the regular lot in their SUVs, and they were standing behind them talking. So I came up to a few of the groups and asked them, well, how do I get into black? Do you know where I can rent a car? Ask basic questions. And one of the things they want you to do, which will accelerate when you can get a car, is start your black account and get your background check finished. Because once you have that, what they do is they need your email, the one that you use to create your black account, and they'll put the vehicle on that way. So I didn't have that at the time, and they told me, okay, go do that and come back and find one of us, and we'll help you from there.
So
that?
Steven, other than that, do you have any other requirements? Like, I have to get a chauffeur. Do you have any other special requirements?
So in California, we didn't have any other requirements besides getting your background check done on your black account. Once you don't have to get a chauffeur's license or anything here in California, but you're gonna have to check for yourself in your own market. And then from there, the fleet owner can add your account under his fleet, and then they'll put their cars basically on your list. So, and if somebody's using one of the other cars, you can't use it. So don't think you're going to just be able to say, oh, well, I'm driving the Escalade, even though I'm driving a Suburban.
Also, to add to that, you do not have the ability to cash out. The fleet owner pays you. The fleet owner pays you on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so basically you can see your numbers, and they can see everything too. They can see how long you've been driving and all that stuff.
Yeah, they can see your performance too. So if you start slipping, they can.
I actually have that app on my Uber fleet.
I'm not sure if that's the one that they signed. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's where they have it. It probably is. I'm not sure. But yeah, so you're able to see all their vehicles. And of course, you select the one that you're actually going to be driving, the license plate. And here they have the TCP numbers. But you can't cash out. So the guy that I was working with, he gave me a check, and so I just took the check and cashed it. But depending on how new they are to the business and everything like that, or just how technologically savvy, they could give you a direct deposit. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, my first fleet owner actually visited the banks himself and paid out payments that way. He might not.
All they need is all they need is your account number, and they can dump money into your account. It's not that hard.
Yeah, there's a lot easier way to do it than what he was doing.
Right.
I wasn't about to try to tell him how to do business.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why do you keep giving me a check? But I was like, it's all right. I can take a picture.
See, I can put my vehicle on the Uber fleets, and I can actually rent my car out under the Uber app.
But it's not requiring you to show proof of commercial insurance or anything?
No, I was able to put it in that they didn't require me for anything, and I'm looking at my account. It says approved.
I think what he's doing is only applicable for not black rides. because only
Oh, okay.
only
Yeah,
black
her-
rides you're required to have commercial insurance.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't have an issue with I think it's really good if people want to get into their own, get into their markets as private drivers. I think it's a great thing. I think as long as you're ready to be committed to it for the next 5 to 10 years, I think it's a great thing. You just got to have all your ducks in a row. Your I's dotted, your T's crossed, and every box better be checked because at any given moment, these apps can absolutely slam us down like we're seeing right now with Steven. Steven can't drive right now. Well, he can go make deliveries.
There's so many
That's not
guys
happening.
here who all they do is just app rides. They don't even try to bother to get clients. All they do, there's a good number of them. All they do is airport rides. That if they'll drop someone off, and they'll leave the app on, and they'll just look for another ride going to the airport, and that's all they do. And like I guess if you do like 3 of those runs a day, you can make like $300 or $400, like 3 round trips. But like, I don't know. That's just a lot of miles to drive.
Derek's got a question for you, Vinny. He said, "And what is the course for driving cars like a Rolls Royce?" I don't know if you have a link or anything that you.
No, I don't have a link because that was so long ago that I don't even know if that course is still there.
So, actually, I can respond to that because I actually looked it up myself. At the moment, it's only available in London.
Okay,
And
Well,
it's actually from a Rolls Royce authorized trainer, and at the moment there's only one in the world, and it's in London.
okay, but it was a virtual class that I took. I didn't do any driving. It was a virtual class that I took, and it was through Rolls Royce. So go back and check that out again. Yeah, because they're just explaining to you what you have to do. It's not like you're going to get in a Rolls Royce. How many of y'all ever driven a Rolls Royce? Let's get
I
that.
just want to check out the umbrella at the side of the door.
One time for like 5 minutes.
Oh no, y'all need to meet Stewie one day. I haven't heard from him in years, so no. But yeah, no, it was a virtual class, and it was just walking me through what it is to drive a Rolls Royce, and then you go and you apply it. They show it to you. They show you how to ease up the brakes. They show you how to determine the 5 seconds ahead in front of you. They show you these things. They teach you how to open doors. There is a specific way to open a freaking door for a high-end client.
Especially if it's a woman.
Well, I mean,
because the one that I shot. So he took out the umbrella. He said, "You stand here. You spread out the umbrella to maintain her dignity as she gets out of the car."
Exactly, always.
And you put your hand. You wait for her to touch your shoulder, and then once she touches your shoulder, then you can guide her out.
Well, and the other thing too is you never look at the client as they're getting in the car. Never.
And
you're
you
always
also
at an angle. You're always at an angle.
Always at an angle.
Or you're at an angle, and then you feel them get in the car, and ready? Yep. Boom. Then you close the door. You
also never go around the front end of the car. You always go from the driver's side all the way to the back end.
All the way around the back. That's right.
The passenger's car. Yep.
That's right. Yes, sir. Anyway. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I thought the class was fun. I thought it was pretty cool. So,
we got to get Brandon caught up on these things, and now that he's driving,
he's a rookie. We'll get him there.
I don't know if I'm a rookie. I'm a very quick learner. All right.
All right. Well, Bucky just made a really good thing here. You just have to. You got to be careful with these private rides, these friends and family rides, because all it takes is one time. And hell, you might not even do nothing wrong, but like Ron, Rideshare Culture a couple weeks ago, dude, they were stopping taxis at the Miami International Airport and checking the taxi drivers for their hack license. If they're stopping taxis for their hack license, what makes you think they won't just pull your ass over real quick?
Dude, there's, man, like There's some taxi drivers that should really have their license
Look at this.
revoked. They
Do you
fucking
have
just
to
go
ask
to
if
anyone.
there's any Grey Poupon? Jeff's on it tonight, boy. Jeff is on one tonight. Him and App Rides have been going back and forth in the chat. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Anyway, so moving on. So Vinny, no butt crack looks when you leave the car? Nah, bruh. I wouldn't do it. No. And that's why most limos, that's the other thing. The only way you consider the limo is if you have the partition. Because the client has to have the ability to seal the driver off from the passenger compartment. That's a whole nother thing.
That you're only gonna get that in my box or Rolls Royces. You're not gonna get that in anything else.
What's that?
The partition.
Oh no, you can get them all day long. You get them in Sprinter vans, or not Sprinter vans, but the Sprinter trucks.
Oh
no.
yeah. I was talking more like less bulky vehicles.
Well, here, even
so
with
novice.
here in Broward County, for it to be considered a limo, it has to see 8 people, 8 passengers, and have a partition, whatever that vehicle may be. So a Suburban and an Escalade is never going to be considered a limo unless it's stretched. It has to be able to carry 8 people.
So,
All right,
novice, to answer your question, you could do it with your own vehicle, but there's steps that you have to take depending on where you live. So in California, in order to use your car for Uber Black, you have to get registered with the Public Utilities Commission, and your vehicle either has to be paid off or under a business loan. It can't be under a private loan.
Right.
So if you want to use your car for Uber Black, you have to get commercial insurance. It has to be registered under the PUC, and they'll give you an identification number connected to your car, and you put it on the back of your car, and you're good to go for Uber Black. But really what you're doing is you're starting your own LLC or your own business and registering the vehicle for commercial use for livery driving. But you can do it.
Yep. All right, new Jay. Jay's like, Vinny, did you ever say why you returned the Tesla? Yeah, I did a whole video on it. But to recap it real quick, it was pretty simple, dude. I was limited to one app. I wasn't going to be able to make enough money. It's not going to be able to make enough money just driving for Uber with the rental. And I don't do Uber Eats. Now, there are a lot of people that do Uber Eats. That's cool. There are people that do the DoorDash and all that stuff. Listen, with the Tesla rental, you're only required to pay the rental costs and give them 30 rides a week. The rest of the time, the car is yours. You do what you want with it. But I couldn't get it on Lyft legally. I couldn't get it on Lyft. I know there are back doors for that. But yeah, so to me, it just wasn't, I wasn't able to make enough money. And then when I went and I did all the numbers, I probably could have made enough money, but I would have had to been an animal. I had to do, 75, 80 hours in a week to make any real money.
You would have had to do the Eddie effect.
Yeah, but but Eddie, even with that, you see, when we got in, I feel like I got to say this. You're my guy, but I got to say this. You have a huge advantage in your market over somebody in my market. Your quests are still your quests.
Oh, yeah, but that's the weekend quest, and that's when the quests are there. Remember, the quests just started coming back now.
Eddie, the quests are never there like that for us here. You don't understand what I'm trying to get through to you when I tell you this. Your quests are always 3 to 4 times higher than our quests.
That's right. But
day or weekend, doesn't matter.
These quests that I'm getting now just started popping up now. They weren't here back then. When I first got the Caddy, I wasn't getting those quests.
I didn't say the Caddy. I said when you were doing all the X rides.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but your quest for 50 rides, $120, right? 50 rides, $150, something like that, right? When you first got the Caddy.
Well, I don't know, but I never did any other quest.
I understand that, but then we're talking about
now. I'm doing the quest because my time is there's not a lot of money out there. It's slow season,
course.
So I have to change it around. Now I have to wake up really early, then take a break.
How much were your quests worth to you over the weekend?
My last
Just your
weekend
Quest.
was 285.
How much?
285.
Okay, we ain't even close to that.
So
Not even close to
this
that.
weekend is 150.
For how many rides?
There's 60 rides.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me
We
make
don't-
sure.
Yeah, but we don't get that. It's what I'm saying. It's okay to work the hours and chase the bottom rides just to get the ride quantity, as long as the quest is there that's going to make up for it. But for years I've been telling you, bro, it doesn't make sense for me to go out there and bang my head for Uber, right? For $20 on 80 rides, $30 on 80 rides. Like that shit don't make no sense.
Oh yeah.
For an
Okay.
extra 40 cents a ride? Like that's craziness. I'm just saying, my brother.
Yeah. 60 rides, 150. So I have to definitely wake up Friday early and go back to my routine until they change it. Because I know once they change it on me, my freaking strategy is right out the window like that. But this is where I'm going. Doing a lot of X, and then when going back to deliveries. I'm not too fond. I try to avoid deliveries as much as possible. But when I start getting really close to the quest, I start getting hungry. It's like, yeah,
Like I said, in the markets that still have the really good quests, absolutely, you can chase them. For here, it's not like I said earlier, bro. My cash quest for this weekend, or my cash quest for the week, was $475 for a $20 bonus.
yeah.
$475, and they'll give me $20 of my money back. Yeah, I'm get right on that Uber. DK, I'm out there right now, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna. They really. I don't even know how the hell to get. Even if people start doing it, they're gonna start realizing that they can't get there. They can never get there. So they can be like, oh, I'm chasing. I'm not gonna do it no more.
That's it. And see, this is the other thing too, Jay. Jay, you're right. Unfortunately, the EV incentive is subject to the fair replacement too. I'm so glad.
Oh, 100%.
I am so glad everybody has adopted that saying. I can honestly say I coined that. It's fair replacement, bro. It's fair
100%.
replacement.
My rides are disgusting. when I think about, let me subtract $1 from this, the rates are absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
15
And the surge when you get a big surge and then you get a ride, the ride is the surge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what they pay you. They pay you the surge. I was like, hey, what happened to the ride?
Yeah, but that's the whole point. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, and we're all feeling it. Everybody's feeling it, bro. Everybody's feeling it. That's why I said at the very beginning of the show, y'all better start looking at these damn, Lyft made a really good, they're giving you something. At least you can plan out your day. It might not be the amount of money you think you should be getting, but at least you can plan out your day. So I don't know what people's goals are. $100
day trading.
bucks,
Well,
$200
day trade.
Well, I'm talking about rideshare though right now. I don't know what people's goals are, but you need to start looking in there and see if you can schedule enough rides together. Oh, and that's the other thing I wanted to bring up to you. How's your Sketty working, guys?
My Sketty gets me every once in a while.
So I got a few rides on basic, but I didn't get any. Lux rides. I don't know what the deal is with that. I got a couple.
I can talk about
rides,
that.
mostly regular.
I can talk about that because I talked with some people with higher ups at Scuddy because I got really teed off. So they wouldn't tell me exactly why. I'm assuming some sort of legal action, but they are no longer given the ability to basically only give you rides of a specific type. The way they used to work is that they used to go off of your what you have selected on the app. So
That's
if
right.
if you have black only, it's
I
only
saw
gonna
that
find you black
disappear.
rides.
Yeah.
So
I wish I could have shown you what Sketty was showing me right now. The reason why I'm not getting rides is because I have it set too high. Should I set it down to $20? I was like, no.
Go ahead, Brandon, because this is important.
So Again, I don't know the reason behind that. They wouldn't tell me the truth. But basically,
I know the
they
truth, but go ahead.
they seem like they were forced to because it started yesterday, where I was getting I had my settings set to minimum $10, radius 10 miles, but I had only Lux Black selected. So because I don't mind doing short Lux Black rides or Lux Black XL, but because of that change, I saw my phone blowing up. I was like, new request, new request. And I was like, holy shit. I'm getting all these new requests Lux Black rides.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all freaking basic. Now, in the past,
Yep.
this happened a couple of times, and I had reported it, and they had said that it was a bug, and they fixed it. Now, this time, they made a change to the app. So now they
Oh, I
can't
don't
give
think it was them.
they can't give you rides
It
based off
wasn't
of what
them.
you have.
It wasn't them that made the change to the app. It was Lyft. Lyft changed the way you see the scheduled rides now in the app.
Okay,
And because of that, and I'm going to take Brandon, the rides used to be on a list. Now, when you open up the map, it's completely different because I'm already getting regular.
But in
Lyft.
the software, it's still
when
on
they
the list.
when
Yeah.
they made that change initially, it did not stop the ability for Sketty to give you rides that you had to prefer time, because I was still getting only Lux Black XL. It may not have been it may not have been as efficient because I was still able to find rides that Sketty didn't give me, but it would still give them to me. Now they don't do that at all.
Yeah,
Like I
I'm
said,
not getting any
So
higher.
I
I'm
don't.
not
I
getting less than
so
mine.
because of that, I can't. I don't like. They
let
tried
me
to
ask you
say
a
that.
question. Let me ask you a question, Brandon. Seriously, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Prior to Lyft changing the way scheduled rides looks on the app,
Hmm.
did you ever have this problem before with Sketty? Because I didn't. After Lyft changed the way that it presents it to us as drivers on the app, all of a sudden Sketty's got problems. This
It
ain't
did.
hard to put two and two together.
It didn't. It didn't start. It didn't start for me until yesterday because, as I said, like I was still getting only Lux Black rides, and then today, yesterday, I even with just Lux Black only on, I started to get basic rides. I was like, "What's going on?" And then that's
I
when I
just shut
saw
it off.
that's when I saw the app update, and they got rid of the ride types.
Yeah, I had
So
to shut it off. I had to
So
shut it off.
I had to shut it off too because they're like, "Oh, just set it to $40." Okay, I set it to $40, and I'm still getting like 4 or 5 rides an hour because there's a lot of people that don't want to do long rides here in Chicago, and that's understandable because long rides here are bad. Anything longer than 18 or 20 miles to the airport, it's just not worth it because then you're in the middle of the suburbs and guaranteed no chance you're going to get a ride back.
Right.
So,
Well, I'm just the reason
I
why
have to
bring
turn it
up
off
the Sketty thing.
as well.
Yeah, the reason why I bring up the Sketty thing is exactly that. At this point, Sketty's not worth it. Sketty's not worth it. If you're using Sketty and you're not on tier 2 or tier 3 platforms, if you're on the tier 1 platforms, then you're still good to go.
Yes. Good.
But if you're on Excel or up, Sketty's going to be a problem for you. And you have to go in the app to cancel the ride. You can't just skip the ride on Sketty because it still shows up in your app as a scheduled ride.
So the reason why it does that is because when you press skip on Sketty, it only removes it once it finds another driver to give it to.
I've never had that problem before where I had to go in on Lyft and cancel the ride as well.
The reason why is because they were probably able to find another driver that was able to take that ride immediately.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak to that one way or another. All I know is I didn't have to do it, and now I have to do it. And it could be because it's a Lyft basic ride.
There were a couple of days where me and Musa would basically be passing black reservations between each other, and it was almost instant. And we're like, "Hey, did you skip this ride earlier?" It's like, "Yeah, I skipped it like 15 seconds ago." "Oh, I just got it."
Right. Well, I'm just saying it's however everybody's got to make their pivot, make your pivot. But at this particular point, with things slowing down, I'm not saying you got to kill your standards. I'm just saying if you're going to keep doing rideshare, You're going to have to start grinding a little bit more. You're going to have to start hustling a little bit more. You're not
Wake
going
up
to be
early.
You're not going to be able to just sit back and wait for the rides to come to you. You're either going to pivot with your strategies, or you're going to pivot into some other kind of way of making money. It's going to be one or the other.
You have to be more selective when you drive. Like you cannot continue to treat this like a 9 to 5 job. You have to be there for every event in the area. Even if you're not in the area like Chicago with all these stadiums, like if there's an event that if there's an event in your area that has at least 100 people,
Go.
you better be there when that event lets out, because there's a good chance that you're going to get a ride, because if you're 0 minutes away, they're going to see it on the apps. Oh, there's a driver 0 minutes away. Let me select this ride. And that works for me as well, because like there was a comedy club that had like 300 people that are letting out. So I was literally right in front of it. And this guy, I got a ride from the guy, and the guy's like, yeah, I normally don't do Lux Black, but it said that you were 0 minutes away, so that's why I got it. So, it's doing your research of when events are letting out is gonna start to be more of a difference. It's gonna be more difficult.
I'm not gonna disagree with you, but Omar just sent me a picture. He's over here. Omar's like 10 minutes away from me right now. He's at the Florida Panthers game, and I've been watching the last. Listen, bro, they're up 3-2 with 10 minutes left in the third period. They're about to sweep Carolina out the building and make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. So it's a pretty big deal where the Florida Panthers are right now, just like with the Miami Heat. Now, Omar's been going down to the Heat games and picking up after the Heat games. He's been doing phenomenal.
Of course.
Coming out of the Panthers games, not so much.
Hockey isn't as big.
No. That's not bro. I make plenty of money off the Florida Panthers
Really?
all year long.
That's just. I guess it's bad for me.
Would you like me to show you the picture?
No. I believe you. It makes.
Wait. There are over from the picture he just sent me just now. There are over 60 SUVs sitting out there waiting. There's no competition over there for rides like there is in Miami, right down at Bayfront Park, right next to Brickell and Wynwood, just across the Intercoastal from South Beach. There's no competition for rides. And when you get that many vehicles sitting over there waiting for there's going to be no surge, very little surge. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if we're still going to be online, but if we're still on live, I'll bring up my app. I'll open up the app and you guys can see the surge on both maps.
I mean, 60 at one time is a lot. Like I don't even see that. The only time I've ever seen that many was 3 days ago, because we all know as SUV drivers, 60,000 people, everyone's going to get a ride. So it doesn't matter how many people are stacked there, you're going to get something. So that's the only time I saw SUVs along both sides of the road parked waiting for rides. It was just nothing but black cars up and down that street. And that's crazy. And they all got a ride.
And you know what's okay? Well, I've been out there. What concert was? Oh, Lady Gaga. I was down at Hard Rock Stadium where the Dolphins play, right? I was about to call it Joe Robbie. And I remember when I pulled up and parked along the street, which they never, ever let us do. But I was pulled up there. It was a thunderstorm. That's the concert where the lightning started and she ran off stage. And then they made her go back out on stage after half the people done left to finish the concert. Bro, there must have been 200 or 300 SUVs there. All of us, everybody I knew was there, plus some. And they ran out of trucks. They ran out of SUVs. I had a private ride that took me all the way up to Delray, which in hindsight, I did it for a friend. I shouldn't have done it. I won't do it again because I lost money. I made $300 on that trip and I lost money. So Eddie, are you looking? You watching? Look, Eddie. What the hell?
Eddie, I think Eddie just went to the bathroom and did a little sniff. So he's not there right now.
Yeah, he's got a cat in the house now. I don't know. I put him in.
No, that's my cat.
Oh, that's your cat. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's your cat. Well, then you're in timeout. Okay, no, I'm joking, Steven. I'm joking.
Oh, that wasn't me. I didn't do it. It was not me. He's got it ready to go just in case.
Oh, okay, Eddie. Okay, Eddie, got jokes. Got jokes. Let the games begin.
To
Anyway.
to talk about what Vinny just mentioned, even if you know you're gonna lose money, sometimes it's better off that you do a private ride, even if you're gonna end up losing money because there's that much demand. At least for me, I'm willing to do that because as we all know, the apps are going to go away. So I always make sure if possible I'm at least there 15 to 20 minutes early, and I will sit there and wait for them. Even if the map shows $20, $30, $40 surge, I'm gonna sit there wait for them. We had a prearranged agreement. I'm gonna be there. If the second I screw it over, Karma's gonna get me, and I'm gonna be screwed over.
Yeah, I mean, look, you take your ride, you take your ride.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to get into tonight was I don't know if you guys heard, but I know Steven. Where'd Steven go? Where's Steven go? Your microphone's off. Your microphone's off.
You must have these little boys' room.
Your microphone's off. Well, because Sergio and them, they went ahead and figured out how they figured out something that was going on with the Prop 22 over there in California, and a whole lot of drivers in California all of a sudden getting a little extra money in their apps, and they don't know why. So my question to Steven earlier, Steven, did you get any extra money in your app and you don't know why?
Oh no,
I did.
Why.
I did,
Yeah.
but I'm not in Cali.
Well,
it said 30 to 34 cents on the email that they had sent me. They jumped from 30 cents to 34 cents. I didn't read the rest of it, but I did. Yesterday, $7.40 that came into my account because I knew I didn't drive any on Uber.
Well, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I think, next Tuesday, if you get a chance, next Tuesday, you need to go and look. Wait a minute, Brandon. What are you doing now?
Hi, Brandon. You received an earnings adjustment. Check your earnings in the Uber driver app.
Did you get part of that Uber surge that wasn't showing on the maps and they paid you for it?
I don't exactly know where the earnings was. It just leaves me a blanket statement. It doesn't tell me.
Right.
It doesn't tell me what the adjustment was. It just says I got one.
I know you haven't driven in California, so you would not be entitled to what California is getting. That's part of Prop 22.
Of course.
But there was Saturday, from what I understand, there was a huge Uber surge blackout.
Yeah.
If you were giving rides at that time, they said they were going to make sure they paid drivers. So maybe you guys are getting the adjustment from, or the reimbursement for the surge outage. I remember Omar mentioned it to me Monday, but I didn't think nothing of it. And then we were talking about it this morning on the show. It was either this morning or yesterday morning with Eddie, about the surge went blank, and they said they were going to make sure they took care of drivers.
Okay, so that must have been nationwide because there was
nationwide.
There was like Lyft was surging like $9 or $10 and Uber wasn't surging anything. What the hell's going on?
So
that
maybe that's where that money came from.
That makes sense.
Well, Steven, for you it might be Prop 22, but for guys like if Jeff says he got an $8 adjustment on Uber, Brandon saying
mine was $7.
These guys wouldn't be subjected to Prop 22 money. That's only Prop 22 money. You're not losing. You're guaranteed. What the hell is Richie talking about? A guaranteed rate for a little bit less is, but I don't know what Richie's talking about. Why do folks always have backwards cameras? We're in 20. Who's got on the backwards camera?
No, it's when Brandon showed you see it like backwards. It's not showing the right.
Oh, he's got an inverted.
Yeah, he's got his camera mirrored.
Oh,
Yeah. How do you change that on a Canon 80D? Because my camera's the same way.
You don't do it on your camera. You do it on
Mr. Gambit.
Restream.
Mr. Gambit got it too. They sent me $11.
Then it's Vinny's fault.
Oh yeah, no, you do
What the
it.
hell's it my
You have
fault?
to do it for yourself. Like I can change mine right now.
God. Oh
Yeah,
my
look,
God.
he's changing his back and forth right now.
Oof, 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 oof.
We don't do EDM here. We don't do that here. Anyway,
You're EDM, you're the EDM capital of the world. Don't tell me you don't do EDM.
nah, bro. I was born with the bass. That's it. We're all about that bass, about that. That's what we do.
No
here.
trims.
Oh, we know. We do have Restream. I had to do it on my laptop. Now,
You having fun there?
what are we doing here? What the hell? What the hell are we doing here?
I didn't know we could do that.
We're having a little fun.
Oh my
All
God.
right, do it again, Brandon. Do it again, Brandon.
Really?
It's party time. Dum, dum, dum,
Really?
Oh wait.
Hold on. And y'all, that's it for the show tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. I don't know what happened to my other peoples here, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all three done playing Mo, Larry, and Curly over there? Oh my God. Oh, God.
I'm sweating right now.
Yeah. No, look. Tonight's going to be an early night. I mean,
God.
unless you guys got something else you want to talk about.
No, we got like really. It's been crap. I gotta give it.
Yeah.
It's been crap. I have to wake up. I have to hit the road by like 4. I have to stop hit. I can't hit the road by 5 anymore.
That looks Sergio. Okay. I think we set a bad example for Sergio. Some of us. What did he say? He said,
Are you happy?
No,
You
that's
happy?
not work.
We're living.
No, that's an
Not
inside
inverted
joke.
anymore.
He's cracking an inside joke there, and I ain't going for it. I ain't going for it, Sergio. I ain't going for it. Oh my God!
Good to see you, Sergio.
But by the way, Sergio, UPST, Baba, yeah, okay, and what is it?
If
IEP.
Sergio wasn't so busy over there, finding monies that are not being paid out to drivers like they're supposed to, we would have our own little trading group, but he's too busy. He ain't got time for us. Sergio's like,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
you know what I mean?
Oh man,
Oh God.
I've been laughing too hard this week. I've been trying to chill a little bit. Woo! Yeah, no, and by the way, and then I also, Lyft took my money and I got it back. So
Oh, you see this? You see this? New Jay says Dara said he's predicting a recession. Well, no shit, Sherlock. We've
Damn,
been in a
wow.
recession the last 3 months. What the hell is Dara
Wait.
talking
I
about?
thought it was like 5 months ago.
No, man.
Brandon, you're letting people down, Brandon. Come on, man.
What do you mean?
Read the
You're
comment.
not eating pizza,
comment.
so since you're not eating pizza, I didn't make any pizza. So
No,
you know
that's
what?
Because I stopped working early today because I did really well on my private rides, so I was able to eat before the live show.
listen. He's not eating pizza anymore, Sergio. He's a caviar and Grey Poupon kind of motherfucker now.
Oh, great.
I have people that feed me now. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
How dare you assume that I feed myself?
That's right, but they feed him while he's still in the truck.
Mess up these hands.
The cat,
It's DoorDash.
the cat is spoon fed,
These hands.
home cooked chicken broth, ravioli. Okay, Brandon's not doing pizza anymore.
By the way, I need
He's too high tech
headshots
for
of
that.
everybody.
He wants red caviar, not the white.
Oh my God! New Jay, yes, they do. The real numbers say recession. I don't know what official numbers you're referring to.
Yeah, they say
but the real numbers say we're in a recession.
I think it took them. I think it took them like 3 months to realize we were in a recession.
Oh wow, the Driven Dad threw down some pocket change. God damn!
What's that? Oh, because
he unlocked full FSD. So
Wall Street Journal, really?
Oh no! Listen, dude, I've been watching Driven Dad's videos on driving riders with the full self-driving on the Model 3, and now he's got it on the Model Y. Bro, those videos are interesting. You really get a good insight to what the Tesla's doing and how people react when they find out, look, mine, no hands. It's pretty cool stuff. I enjoy it, but I'm a nerd like that. I am an absolute nerd.
Even with the basic autopilot, passengers will freak out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the freaking coolest thing. You don't need to pay how much is it? How much was it, Vinny?
15,000.
15 now.
15,000.
Yeah.
I was like,
Hold on. Sergio said, I see Steven has gained a few pounds since the missus showed up. Let me tell you something. Sergio's been firing at the missus lately. He told me earlier I'm whooped. He said my wife's got me whooped.
So what is this? This is what is it? Curry chicken with greens, and what else should she give me?
Man, I could save so much money if I had a wife.
Good luck with that.
I mean that's a solid investment. I wouldn't have to eat out anymore.
Yeah. So
Melvin said pretty soon we'll all be in the ramen noodle diet.
Right? Yeah, she got me with mashed potatoes in there and whatnot. Cornbread. Yeah.
You see, now here's the pivot. This is a legit pivot, though. If you see what the Driven Dad just said, it's a $200 a month plan. So instead of paying the $15K up front, I guess he's paying $200 a month, right?
It's a subscription, so it's not going towards getting it permanently.
That's fine. Well, it doesn't matter because
it doesn't matter because once you pay the 15, it doesn't grandfather to your next purchase.
No, that's it. You gotta if you buy another Tesla, you gotta pay for it all over again. So this is a better way to do it if you're going to do it. This is what I intend to do, right? And he plans to pay for that with the YouTube revenue. I think he can do it. I think he will absolutely do that. His YouTube revenue will pay for his subscription.
and I believe that is just there's a pussy in the back making noise.
This is just for.
But that's a pivot. But that's a pivot. Which, you know what? That reminds me, Eddie, we were supposed to do something, dude.
Eddie, we got a comment just for you, buddy.
As long as you're paying, I'm good.
Everyone gets it tonight except Mr. Green Lion over the rest.
Hey, Sergio, you've been missing my green line over the yellow line. I don't know where the hell you've been.
He's been busy, bro. He's been cracking heads, bro. He's got a little rock.
The only ones that haven't been green line over the yellow lines were the ones you actually sent in.
Whoops. So. Okay. Eddie, there was something there was another class we were supposed to do. And I think it's time we set that class up.
Comment for you.
Okay. I can do it Sunday afternoon, or we can schedule it for a week out. We have to do that YouTube video class. How to set up a YouTube channel.
Driven Dad.
And how to make
okay.
So much truth, Driven Dad. So much truth. Oh my God.
Yeah. You've been married like what?
Yeah, especially if they drive a Tesla.
And all 3 days she wants to eat out. She might.
You've been married like you ain't even been married a month yet. You already talking and bitching about the wife?
Hey,
oh my God.
I'm just saying. He's saying these are facts. This is just facts.
Hey, Jeff said, women in 2023 don't have to even cook. If they have a nap, they will satisfy a man by ordering dinner. Nah, I ain't going for that, bro. Nah.
We'll try.
But I will say, I did all the cooking this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sure did. Because my new strategy is allowing me to do that, and I'm still making my money. And I've already told y'all what the strategy is. I've already told you.
Mine's
So-
pressure washing.
Y'all can sit out there and y'all can sit out in a parking lot somewhere for 4 hours and not get a ride and play these apps games, or you can start, making your pivots. That's all I'm going to say about that. So Eddie, you, me, Steven, Jeff, Kier, we got to get together and do this class. I would include Brandon in this, but he's too high roller for that to begin with. Number one, and number two, he doesn't even do YouTube anymore. He comes on here to let us know.
So I've been told by some people that I shouldn't reveal some things about the highest level. So I'm going to respect those wishes and the limits, the things that I talk about when it comes to that.
That's got absolutely nothing to do with the class that we're going to do, which is how to start a YouTube channel. What in the flipping hell does you and your little Fight Club buddies? What the Eddie?
I want to see Vinny doing Pilates, Sergio.
Eddie, what are you doing over there, Eddie? We got you on full screen. Who you beating up now?
Hey, I'm gonna put myself on timeout. Hold on. I don't like this crap,
Here,
bro.
let me help you out. I got you.
If he pulls up another Vinny the Pooh freaking you know what? I'm gonna let it stay up. There you go. I had it up. I did not take it down. I'm just letting you guys know I did not take it down. All right. And you know what? I'd like to get you know what, Eddie? I got something for you, bro. Bye, Eddie. Eddie
No.
I have put Eddie out of the stream completely.
Booty.
Oh my God. I think Eddie has Tourette's. Hey, Driven Dad, I'd like you to be part of this class also. Eddie, hey, I bet you Eddie's like, what the hell just happened? Where'd I go? Why am I not in this stream? Why am I not in this stream? Are you all high? What the fuck? Also, not us, bruh.
We're high on life, you know?
I don't know what you talk about. Oh my God. All right. Eddie left the building. He did leave the building. Eddie, come on back, Eddie. It's okay, Eddie. All right. So
Sergio's asking what class.
We're gonna do a YouTube class. How people can set up their YouTube channel and how they can get their first video done. I've been meaning to do that video because I think it's important. I think the more perspectives you can get out here in the rideshare space, the better. I really do believe that.
I got something to say to that, Driven Dad. I think I made a mistake. So my dad used to cook the life out of the chicken like all the time because he was afraid. I don't know if he really cooked that much, but he was afraid of pink in the chicken. So he would cook the life out of the chicken all the time. Like, I know that you can make it moist. You don't have to dry it out and everything. So I just started practicing, started learning how to cook. And as soon as I started learning, I showed that I could cook a flat of chicken, or, I never made rice, but I could do eggs and stuff like that. It's like, all right, you go make dinner. Like, no. So good for you. You're 11-year-old making some food. That's cool. So right around 11, 12, that's when I did it.
Oh God. So Eddie made it back into the group, I see. Right? Complete with a new name. Complete with a new name.
Listen, I really need headshots of everybody.
It ain't gonna happen, dude. I'm sorry. We just had to. Now we're just clowning, bro. But yeah, listen, we want to set up that class. We got several people in the chat group that want to do that class, Eddie. So between yourself, Steven, Key, Jeff, myself, maybe we can get Tony in on this, on the Driven Dad, because I like what he does with the Tesla driving. That's a whole different aspect. I would actually like to learn a little bit about that. So let's set it up for a couple of weeks. We'll get it done. Did you all start smoking? Did you all start smoking at the same time? That's what he went. Bro, I don't live in California. Y'all live in California, bro. Y'all the ones out there weeded out. We ain't weeded out.
Hey,
Look
that
at
looks like my
nice.
car.
I've never touched the stuff.
It does, right? We got the same front end, bro, except he's got that funky ass license plate on the front grill. I don't
Yeah,
have
no.
that.
Who puts a license plate in front of a Cadillac?
Shit. Only simps
Well,
and whips and pimps.
In California, unfortunately, they give
Yeah.
tickets. I got a ticket the first night I brought my car home because I didn't have a front license plate.
Bro, seriously, a lot of people want to do this class. So we will have the
Oh,
information
nice.
out.
Okay.
Look, we will have the information out. I think our LLC class was pretty good, the last one we did. And so we'll do this one as well. Eddie will conduct an OnlyFans class. Yeah, but it's going to be nothing but memes. It's going to be
That's
nothing
right.
but memes.
Just
Only memes.
that's right.
It's
Just
going to be memes of Brandon naked. Just letting you know up front. It'll be Brandon and his cat naked.
no rainbow thongs, okay?
I mean, if you hacked into my camera, you probably did see me naked quite a few times.
Oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ! Here you're gone. See you, bro. That
Oh, he's on timeout. Can I?
a disgusting thought, bro. What a disgusting thought. Oh my God. Hey, Tony, I'm with you, bro. I ain't ever touched Brandon either, and I never will. I ain't got to be in Colorado for that, or Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, this guy, Playboy over here. Are you telling me you're driving around in the Escalade in a thong and tassels? You got
No.
tassels on in the Escalade, bro? Are you pulling up next to people dropping the window talking about? You got the little.
Don't do that. There was already somebody in the news. You know, the little finger got stuck in a gas tank. That did remove the whole entire pipe.
Oh my God! All right, we're this is too much. This is too much. All right,
Okay.
let's go. Get it. Give us our tip for the week so we can get on out of here. I'm gonna end this on time tonight. Absolutely, I got to be up way too early in the morning. So, Steven, tip of the night. Let's go, buddy. Tip for the week.
Sometimes with things like Uber Black, there's things that can block you from being able to get access to it that you can circumvent. I'm looking into getting into pressure washing in California, but there are requirements with business licensing and having a contractor's license. However, there's a method that you can use to work with somebody that has a contractor's license in order to build out your own contractor's license. And it still takes you still have to become a journeyman, but if you work with them or have them connected to your business in any way for 4 years, then you clear the time requirement and you can go take the test to qualify. So that's something, if there's something that you want to do, but you feel, in California, you're required to be a journeyman in order to do pressure washing. Or at least have a journeyman, somebody that's a contractor, work with your business.
By the way,
So-
if anybody here is in here in Austin and is doing something like that and is experienced and wants to do something, let me know.
That's what I'll see. It's good business, especially a place like Florida.
So I can freaking buy a power washer like that.
Yeah, buying a power washer is easy. You can find these tools, especially if you're outside of California. It's a lot easier because you don't have to have the contractor's license. But I mean, I want to go and do driveways. You knock out driveways, it's like $250 to $300 cleaning out gutters. It's not really hard work, but it's stuff that people don't necessarily do all the time. Yes, window cleaning, same thing. So these jobs, if you do them under $500, you don't have to have a contractor's license. But it's so easy to upsell people because you're like, I'm already here. I can knock this out. I can wash the side, wash the building, whatever. But this is my pivot. This is what I'm doing. And I think, honestly, it's going to make it where I can pay my car off even faster. So just something to think about. If there's barriers blocking you, you might be able to work with somebody or even sign up.
I want to know.
Yeah, sign up with people that have the experience or the qualifications that you need so that you can operate your business, and all you have to do is get commercial insurance. So there you go.
Because I already have the business, and all I need to do is
exactly. That's where I'm at. Right.
If someone has a pressure washer in Chicago, hit me up. I'm gonna
buy one. How much is a pressure washer?
I'm gonna make you a lot of money.
A good one.
That's all I'm gonna say.
A good one is like $500 to $1,000, but you can get them used. There's a lot of people that like flop out of the
Yeah.
business, won't go to they're not willing to do the legwork and
They're
go
lazy.
to people's homes. Yeah, exactly. So advertising is a big part of it, and if you're too lazy to do the advertising or to say, hey, look, I can do this at your house and I can knock this out for you, you're not going to be successful. And people fall out of the business all the time. I was actually looking at a trailer with that they had set up for pressure washing. I just don't have a truck to pull it, so I'm trying to start smaller. I don't have a truck to pull it, and even if my Tesla could pull it, I don't have any spot to store it.
I need
Okay.
someone to put me out of my misery. Can someone block me, please?
Oh,
Sergio.
can I do the can I
That's
can I can I
Sergio.
can I put him on timeout? Can I put him on timeout?
No, you got to
No.
understand.
Okay.
Right now, Sergio has burnt into his brain Brandon wearing a thumb backwards with tassels going like this. Okay, and that's the problem. All right, Eddie, what's your tip for the week, bro?
My tip for the week is wake up early. So during the AM, there's people going to work. People going to work and taking rides to the airport. So that's basically my favorite right now when it comes to ride sharing in the apps. Waking up early, I make a nice little piece of my chunk, and then when everything slows down, I pick up a few and then do the rest for the rest of the night. But I have to wake up early.
Oh, these guys. That's
New Jay, to answer your question, I do pretty good in the kitchen, and people expect me to make certain things a lot of the time.
Oh God, you guys are just. Oh. All right,
So,
Brandon.
Actually, my wife expects me to make ribs tonight, so that's what I'm gonna be doing after.
Oh,
this.
what the?
You ain't even married a month yet. What the, bro?
What? She
What
asked
are
me to
you
make
doing,
ribs.
guys?
I'm making ribs.
Oh my God, I can't. That's like month 3 or 4.
Costco ribs, right?
No.
Sam's Club ribs?
Oh, you're talking about where I got
Oh
my
my
slab
God.
from?
No, I'm just saying
no.
like you get the ribs from like the ribs from Costco or like Sam's. Oh,
Oh, those are nice.
Those-
Mr. Gambit's like,
You know what's real good? You
Oh.
can get bison meat from Costco. It's pretty cool instead of beef. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Brandon.
Brandon, what do you got, brother? Because I mean, you were strong tonight on the show. I think a lot of people got their eyes opened up a little bit. So, what's your tip for the week? And keep it clean thoughts.
When I'm trying to meme this real quick.
Don't rush yourself into something that you don't have enough information on.
That's right.
I have burnt $60,000 over the last year and a half to get to where I am.
Woo.
So just let that set in. I could afford it because I came from the corporate world, and I was willing to make that sacrifice to just make a bunch of shortcuts and just get right to the top. But obviously, I understand that not everybody can do that. So, learn from us, and then learn from people in the local area. And if rides are dead, you know what you can do? Go to a big city, go to a decent sized city, and work for a limo company. I guarantee you will make more doing that than you would doing basic rides in an area where you only get 2 or 3 requests an hour.
That's it.
Plus you get all the gratuity on top of that. So if you get like 25 an hour, that's not including your gratuity. So you can easily make $50, $60, $70, $80 an hour. Easy.
And with very little expense out of pocket for yourself.
Exactly, because the company is going to provide the vehicle and provide the gas.
Yeah, that's it. That's not a bad way to do it, bro. That's not a bad way to do it.
Sergio, that's a good idea because
that's facts driven, Dad.
I almost went all in on Lyft, and luckily I sold my position before they crashed too hard. I only lost like 50 cents a share, but I could have lost a lot more.
Never trade without a stop loss.
I agree with you.
Never trade without a stop loss. So here's my tip. Just because there's a big event doesn't mean you should go to that big event. The Florida Panthers have won their 1 Game 4. They have swept the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay. And do you see any surge over there right now? I see $1.50. That's what I see. That's the Panther Arena. I keep telling y'all, when the crowd goes left, you go right. And you got to know everybody and their brother is at that game right now. If they're not at that game, I'm going to tell you where they're at. They're at the airport.
Yeah,
Florida
but what does Lyft say?
Let me go see what Lyft says. Because
Florida's a bad market for driving, especially if you live in the middle of nowhere, man. The time that I was there and I only had access to basic rides, I was literally getting like one request an hour on
There's
basic.
a travel advisory for Florida too, bro. You gotta be careful.
Lyft is dead quiet.
Lyft is dead too?
As usual. Look
at that scheduled ride. I see that scheduled ride.
Goddamn right.
Their surge lags behind so bad.
Unlike some people with Porsches, I don't have to change 5 cars to find my way to make money. I'm gonna make my cash anyway. No matter what, I'm always gonna get my money, bro.
Hey, I had to have made cash to be able to afford to switch to 5 different cars.
Listen, I'm not gonna be that guy in public to put you in your place, but I will if you keep pushing. Don't push me, because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose.
And you're about to break.
Edge.
I'm about to break.
Listen, when the crowd goes left, you need to go right. Why? When it's slow like this, don't go where everybody else is going, because that's when they're going to feed them the low ball offers. Go someplace where you think you can get a ride and be like 1 or 2 of the only people there, and you're going to get a decent rate on the ride. Because it's you're either going to say yes, or the next guy's going to say yes, or they're going to feed somebody the ride from 8 miles away, and you know they're going to say hell no. So I'm just saying.
By
Just
the way,
be careful about your event.
Memorial Day weekend. I already see bad news coming.
You're right, Jeff. My bad. You're right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Discount code for Memorial Day weekend for Lyft. Imagine. So let's see how it
discount
goes.
rides to the riders. They're probably going to be discount rides to us. Anyway, all right, y'all. We're going to end this one up seriously, because like Brandon saw, he was, scanning my app over here. Yes, I've got 2 scheduled rides and a private in the morning. I got to take care of. So my day will be early, but done early. So with that, y'all ready? Appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Appreciate y'all. We broke 50 again in the chat tonight. You guys are the best. I hope everybody has a great night. We'll get together with the class. We'll have that announcement out in a couple of days, and we will have a 4-day Rideshare Garage Gig Wars official war going on this weekend. Only app rides, no Brandon.
Don't worry, I will not compete.
Brandon, yeah, you
It's
you
not
freaking
fair.
wait. No.
It's not fair. I will not compete.
Well, I tell you what, Brandon, you want to be an asshole about it, I'll be an asshole about it. Okay, I got 2 rides for $1,000 already in the books for this weekend, private. You're not
Okay, stop it.
Big money. You're not the only one who can make big money, bro. I'm just telling you.
I'm not.
I got 2 rides, $1,000 in the books already for the weekend. So check that little ego at the door there.
Come talk to me next month. You want to do a private war? We'll do a private war.
But that's just this
bro,
week. What about next week?
Listen, I love you.
What about the week after that?
I don't want to crush your ego, bro. Well, last weekend was almost what, 1,400? 2 rides? You really want to go here?
Sure.
Let's do it all year round.
I like the challenge.
You know what? Let's do
I need the motivation. Give me that motivation.
365 Gig Wars.
Hey,
I'm already working 18 hours. I need to work more. Come on, Vinny.